What's up, bandheads? It's your boy J Law, and welcome back to another episode of Hanging with the Bandheads, the place where we celebrate the culture, the creativity, and the people who make the band world move. Today, we're hanging with a special guest. That's right, Miss Krystal Williams, the force behind Diary of a Lady Band Director. With 18 years of experience as a music educator and band director, Krystal has turned her passion into a powerful brand that is inspiring musicians and educators everywhere. Through her Facebook updates, YouTube interviews, and TikTok performances, and her own jazz journey, she's showing the world what it means to lead, teach, and create through music. So buckle up. This is going to be a fun time here hanging with the band heads. That's right, band heads. So let's welcome to the stage Miss Krystal Williams. Yay. You're muted.
You made me feel like
There
I
we
was
go.
important, dude.
Because thou art. How
Mm.
great. Oh,
Listen, this Sunday, don't play with it. I
I
played
know,
keyboard
right?
at church for 16 years, so um,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Wow.
I
You
was
can
a
get
church
caught up
member.
real fast.
Yep.
You ever yell at the drummer, hey, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. There's always one drummer that just want to keep going, right?
Don't know
Oh,
when to cut
goodness.
off at.
That's right. Okay, let's get to it, y'all. So that's right. This is hanging with the band head. So I got a few friends out there in the band world that are some are some movers, some are some shakers, some are movers and shakers, and they're doing everything in their power to keep the arts alive and to keep things going. So I just want to bring them on sometime so we can just talk about them, who they are. This is not like about budgets or about kids or anything like that. This is just them coming and hanging out with us. Too bad, we talked about church, but there's no cocktail. This is brunch. You can have a brunch cocktail, right?
Yes, you
There's no
can.
cocktail. Nothing right here. When the budget gets better, then we're gonna work on that. So, tell us, like I told Krystal off stage, this first question has been inspired by her because I don't know anyone that does such a good way of popping they So basically, you just gonna give us your band pedigree. So start. Let us know. How did you become this band?
Well, of course, unbeknownst to me, I was amongst band royalty from the start of my journey. So
Oh,
I am Roosevelt Pratt. Um, I'm gonna call him band director emeritus from E.E. Smith's first band director.
I've heard about E.E. Smith. Okay.
So Roosevelt Pratt, he left. I'm gonna say he left North Carolina to come to teach at a middle school that I was at in Prince George's County. Ironically, I had just lost my mom and my grandfather and my stepdad all in 6 months. My mother, she died from complications of the AIDS virus, and of course, my stepfather as well. And my grandfather, literally a month and a half later, died of cancer. So I was not in a good place when I started band in the 6th grade. I was in a bad place. I didn't want to be here. I just flat out, I didn't want to be here. But man, I entered the band room. I had his musicianship class, and I knew this teacher was different. You know how that go? Like, this one is different. He's not pretending he cares. He actually cares. And so I remember going into his band room for the first time, and for the first time in months, I did not think about the mourning I was going through. Because when I say I lost all of those people within 6 months, I was an orphan, just me and my sister, and we had a rough childhood. Like I've said to people, I grew up homeless, poor in DC. That is not during the drug era. So I was just not in a good place mentally. And there was no counseling for kids in the system. Like, I was a ward of the state. I got adopted by my aunt and uncle, but I still mentally was not doing well at all. But when I entered that band room, I knew Like, you know how they say, I knew that
Mm-hmm.
that was going to be what I was going to do. I said, I'm going to do this. This is fun. And he was just all hands on, and he brought in so much energy and passion. And so all of my, at the time, we're going to put a name on it, depression kind of started to subside because I spent all my time focused on playing better, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started out in Roosevelt Pratt's band room. His kids were young. It's crazy. One of his daughters lives, in Baltimore, but I made a point to find him after I graduated, and we really only connected since the pandemic. I was like, I don't think you changed my life. It wasn't going good, but I'm here. So
Right.
that's kind of where I started. Of course, you go to high school and you want to be in band. Once you hooked, and Roosevelt Pratt took us to a football game. I wonder if he remembers this. He took us to the Howard Hampton. It's called the Truth Classic now, but he took us to the middle school. Took us to Howard Hampton, and we were hooked. We were so hooked. We would come to band on Saturdays. He would buy pizza to get us to come, and we would come. Like, we would show up. I would tell my parents, I have to go to band practice. So, he took us to Howard Hampton game. Now, I'll reserve my comments about Howard because I'm a bear and we don't really like them. But I said, this is what I would. This is it. This is the thing. Like, what I really can see myself doing for the rest of my life. I started out as an artist. Like, I can really draw. And I said, but no, I could just do that for fun. I want to learn how to do this. And so that's where it all began. I went to Morgan. So let me just be honest. Because Pratt went to North Carolina A&T, my family is originally from North Carolina A&T. We're originally from Snow Hill, North Carolina. I wanted to go back home. I said, I don't want to be in Maryland. I don't want to be in Baltimore. I don't want to be in Prince George's County. I don't want to be in DC because I had a lot of bad memories. So don't make no faces. I see you adjusting your body. I wanted to be in Aggie.
Goodness.
I went, and I was not impressed with that campus. I said, ooh, nah, I don't think I want to go there. And so in May, I applied for Morgan because it was local. And, I heard a lot of the band directors up here are from Morgan. So I said, let me just throw my hat. And I got accepted, and I started out at Morgan as in 1999. I hope I don't look my age. I'm 44 turning 45. I think I take care of myself pretty well.
40 club. We holding it down.
At the 40 club. And they don't make band people like us anymore. That's my opinion. We're tough. We're just a different type of tough.
Yeah, when we were going to college, the internet was just starting.
Yep.
AOL was kind of just becoming a thing, and you had those chat groups, but then the message boards didn't really start until after we left, so that's when a lot of the extra stuff kind of started. But yeah, I think that internet has a lot to do with it, and I'm a tech friendly person, but I just believe that. Hey, we had technology like that back then. Oh my God.
I don't know. Well, I did come in I'm a true millennial, right? So I did come in at the start of the 5th quarter. And that was the first social media entity for us bandheads. And of course, I met Christy Walker. In the midst of all this, I'm chartering for Sigma Alpha Iota at the same time. So I'm starting to just kind of get thrust into a band world that's kind of social media driven. And, I was kind of hooked from the start. We used to have band tape parties in my dorm. Y'all know how that goes. Tape master would send videos to Marcus Alexander Neal, aka Baloo, who is my husband's Phi Mu Alpha LB. And we would watch them in my room because I was the only one I didn't have a roommate at the time. I had a TV. I kind of had a little bit of rich girl kind of syndrome, not because I was rich, but because when I turned 18, whatever money was going into my mother's Social Security came to me. So all of a sudden, my dorm was fly. My dorm was fly. I had, all of the stuff from Spencer's, but people would come over and we would watch band tapes from everywhere, from, everywhere, anywhere, whatever came in the mail. So I'm from that generation where they would literally send you a tape and you would have a little watch party before it was a watch party. Morgan was cool. I love my alma mater, like hands down. I think had I gone a lot of different places, I wouldn't have gotten the opportunities as a woman and as a Black woman that I had at Morgan State. And that's not saying that, everything is perfect. No university is perfect. But I think for the era that I went, I really got an opportunity to grow and learn things that a lot of women at that time were not learning how to do. Like, for instance, arranging. My first time on the podium was my freshman year.
Oh, wow.
Arranging music. And I do remember, we still sexist. We still in the early 2000s, we're still quite openly sexist. But I remember someone saying, it ain't never leaving the band room. Everything I've ever written left the band room.
Okay.
Everything I've ever written.
Yeah. Pop yo.
And that's not saying we didn't have any women who hadn't arranged, but I kind of got put through the ringer. And if you know anything about Dr. Miles is tough, but he's equitably tough, and I like that. He told me I had a friend. I'm gonna date myself. I had a friend who worked for Death Row Records. He's a music major at the time. And he comes to my dorm fired up about a track he just sold to MOP. And the track is Annie Up before it hit the radio.
Wow.
And he's like, Chris, you gotta hear this track. I said, can I write it? And he was like, so I just written something that had gotten hot, but we couldn't play it. It wasn't, the arrangement was fine. But it was Unleash the Dragon, and everybody from Morgan, especially Baloo, he gonna listen to this and be like, oh, here she go with that story. But they ruined my life. The trombones ruined my life. That's in short. And I married a trombone. I married the section leader, so I don't even know what I was thinking because they ruined my life with my first arrangement.
Oh my God.
That thing was fire. First time on the podium. That arrangement was hot. And you get on the podium for the first time, and first of all, I'm the first woman probably up there kind of standing. I stand 5'3".
Okay.
At the time, I was about 98 pounds soaking wet. I'm little, and I'm still little, but I was little then. And I got on the podium. People started running their mouth and stuff, but like the section leader's like, hey, kind of like give her a chance. Let's see. The parts are being passed out.
Right.
And we hit the first intro, and I said, I think I know what I'm doing. And next thing you know, hell break loose. You already knew. That's why you laughing. Man, hell broke loose. The damn saxophones are standing on a chair. Back when they used to like get towels and bring towels to practice. I mean, they ruined. They were playing it. They were playing it. Trombone section takes the whole melody up, and they take up Y'all Ninjas Want to Make Me. I mean, they laid into it. Yep, I married that guy too.
Oh wow!
I married that guy.
Band director thought it was too much. Is that what it was? Oh, yeah, that would have been a classic though.
I'm in the PAC. You gotta remember, we don't really peel paint like that.
Great.
Man.
When they
He
go
called me
low,
in the
we
office.
go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh man, he called me in the office. He gave me all the compliments. He said it was a good arrangement. He said, you know, the voice leading was pretty good. He's giving me all the, and I was like, he said, but we can't play y'all ninjas want to make me. I said,
Oh,
trombones.
oh,
So fast forward back to the guy that comes in the dorm, like, hey, I got this track. I sold it, Dev Row, Drew called MOP. They hadn't even come out yet, really. And I said, can I
right.
write? So I write that. But because it hasn't hit in the air, there are no words, so
Oh,
I kind of slid it. And then it came out like it sat on his desk for about 6 weeks. Every day I knocked on the band director door, Dr. Miles. Hey, have you looked at it yet? Because I felt like he believed I can arrange at this point. At least, pretty good for a student. And I'm a freshman.
has some confidence in you.
Yeah, he definitely had by then some confidence in me. And
Okay.
I go back and say, yeah, we can do this. And it was a hit. And at that point, the trombone section leader, he nicknamed me L Boogie. It was like everything she dropped, fire. And I've been arranging since.
Oh wow, that's what's up, man. That's quite the journey, and that's not even half.
No, that's just my freshman year.
That's just, oh my goodness, so much, so much. So you get introduced in middle school, you make it through high school, you get into college, your freshman year, and you've gone through everything freshman wise, and you you move sophomore, junior, and then you make it to your last year, you graduate. However that went. Sometimes people it's 1.5 years, sometimes it's 5 years. As long as you get out, right? So you become a lady band at that point. Tell us about your journey. What was the point in your career that really challenged you? What did you
My
do?
first year teaching. Oh my God, the first year is so horrible. I came out at No Child Left Behind. Like after about the second year. So band that I knew when I went to school was not the band that I came into. So one thing, little history about Baltimore City and places like New York, Baltimore City, Michigan, Detroit, a lot of educational initiatives start here and they trickle down. So I have friends now starting to have the struggles that I had 25 years ago. And I'm like, we told you. And they're like, we never thought it would happen to us. I was like, we tried to tell you it's coming. It took a while, but now you're dealing with so when I came out, I was dealing with No Child Left Behind. I was dealing with Baltimore City in the height of violence, being the #1 murder capital of the United States. I came out they had completely gutted everything the arts. I mean, gutted. So whereas when I was in college, a lot of high schools had bands, and that's why I stayed. I said, oh, I should just stay here, right? Like I'm at home, I'm used to it. Let me stay. But man, when I came out, my first gig was a middle school gig at a charter school. And the new fine arts coordinator told me, well, they don't have no instruments. I was like, it's a new charter school. It's going to be just opening. I did the dummy thing. I took the first job offer I got. I tell my student interns at UMBC, I tell teachers I mentor, never take the first offer. Do not be that desperate. Well, I took the first offer. And it was a middle school in the center of Baltimore City in a very low economic area. And that's not why it was bad. It was not bad because of the kids. The kids were fine. It was bad because of the adults. They did not have a structure, no code of conduct, no rules when they opened the school, except for restorative justice. This is not 2006 when I first heard that word restorative justice. Basically, that means we're going to sit in a room, tell you what you did wrong. You got to write a letter, give a blanket apology, and go back to class. That was the start of my career back so after about a month, I said, this is going really bad. Not just my classroom, because I was considered mean, but the entire environment was like, this is not going to work. And so I had a situation where a high schooler from the high school side, I taught on the middle school side, came over, ran into my band room and starts beating on this kid. Trombone player. Like, I'm all sitting there. Yeah. Just like you blink your eyes, some kids running in, you start beating on this girl or something. There's no like hall monitors, there's no resource officers, there's nobody. And next thing I know, the trombone slide because she was playing like the middle school, they were doing what they were supposed to do. I didn't have classroom management issues, but the culture of the school was really bad. And the trombone flew in the air, I kid you not, like TV, and it hit me dead center in my ear. And then you know that like shell shock where it's ringing. I said, I can't hear. I got blood coming out of my ear. The kid tries to run out the hallway. I try to beat them out the hallway so I can try to get security. Open the door. They run. They kind of, bow past me to kind of get out of there. And I heard them say, ouch, on the way out. Now, this is going to be crazy. This is my first year teaching.
Right.
And so they
you playing WWE for real. Keep going. I'm sorry.
This is like March. This is March. I ain't even make it to the end. So they send me I go to the main office. They can visibly see blood is coming out my ear. I go to the place where they send injured teachers. See, the first thing is there's a place where they send injured teachers, work, whatever, compensation, wherever you go if you get injured at the job.
Yeah.
But I went to this hospital where my son was born, by the way. And it's a bunch of teachers in there. I said, oh.
Hey. wait. There's like a specific ER for teachers. Is that bad? Jesus.
Yes, it's not bad. So, Jesus. But the whole time, it's that bad. The whole time, because mind you, I was teaching in Baltimore when they were filming The Wire. But please believe, that is not a show to me, it's a documentary for that time. So all of that, there was a teacher on The Wire, I was like, that was me. Like, I don't understand. I'm from the hood, but this was next level hood. Like, I grew up poor and homeless, but poor and homeless in DC and poor and homeless and just regular at the time in Baltimore was really apples and oranges. It's just different. Like, and I would name roaches, so that's how poor I was. So I'm like, this is another level. So I'm in there. I know I can make anything funny, by the way. I'm telling you, we had paratrooper roaches that would jump on the ceiling. Man, I'm from Southeast DC, man. I'm from the real.
I got you. You named them, your cousins and stuff. I got you.
Yeah, like, hey, that's pumpkin right there. That's pumpkin and Junebug, like. But yeah. So I'm in the ER, but the whole time I'm like, my career is over because I can't hear out of my ear. Like, that's where my brain was. And so I get out, they send me home. They said it's not puncture. It's just little blunt force trauma. You'll be fine. Stay home for a couple of days. I get home about 6:00 and my cell phone wasn't working there. But when I got home, my cell phone rings and I see DJS. This is my first year teaching. DJS. Okay. They call about an incident that happened in my classroom. And of course, I'm like, yeah, a kid came over to fight another kid. And, they ran away. Well, there has been a report of abuse. I'm like, To me, no, I got reported for abuse my first year teaching, not even the end of the year. What
Oh
happened
wow.
is I had just got married. And when they ran past the doorknob, I was holding on to the doorknob. They brushed across my wedding ring and got a scar up their arm because they would, but they bumped me out the way. And
Right.
so I was like completely confused. I was like, how I get it? I didn't get attacked. It was just kind of a fluke situation. But I was like, how
Right.
am I the one at the ER in the DJS case? I'm confused. So being green, in the first staff meeting, they were saying we needed a union rep for the building. I knew it was important to be a part of the union. And so guess what my dumb ass did?
You signed up to be the union rep?
26 years old. I'm a real social justice person, if you can't tell. And so I signed up, and backstory, I was signing in one day and I looked at where we were signing in. I looked at the numbers of how many hours they said we worked, but it didn't add up. I was like, teachers teach 6.5 hours in a school day.
Mm.
Why did it say 7.5 hours? That's an extra hour over our duty. So I asked the secretary, this is months before this. I said, so why we gotta be here? I was in grad school and they would have a stand-up meeting for like an hour every day against the
Mm.
contract, of course. Now I know. But I didn't know. I just was like, this doesn't add up. The office administrator, she said, you're asking the right questions. I said, I'm always
Mm.
finding I'm the person that always finds the crumbs that lead to down a hole somehow. Well, I
Mm.
know how. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, so I filed a grievance because they were keeping us after work for an hour and I was supposed to be in class. So I'm getting laid out in grad school at Morgan from a professor because I'm showing up like 30 minutes late. I was like, I don't get out until 4 o'clock. I can't do nothing about that. And
Right.
long story short, that put me on the target list. I didn't know. I wasn't having struggles with teaching kids. It made me a target. I became the whistleblower for the whole state and changed charter school law at 26 just because the hours didn't add up. So the
Okay.
principal filed a DJS case against me. It was just, she just needed one thing. So it was the principal. It wasn't even the kids' parents. So the kids' parent, I called both kids' parents. I was like, what's this? And even the kid who attacked the student, their parents was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, they got that on their own. They didn't say you hit them or anything. I said, so where is this coming from? So I go to the school the next day because I left my laptop there. I was like, well, I need to do some work. If I'm going to be sitting at home, I got to do some work, young and dumb. The principal met me at the door and said, I don't feel safe with you around children. I got put on administrative leave for the remainder of the school year. Couldn't
Oh
apply
wow.
nowhere. That's my first year teaching. So I'm an advocate for unions. I'm an advocate for knowing your rights. I'm an advocate for teachers because, to be honest, being an advocate for teachers is being an advocate for students too. Um, and so that's why I started out that way.
Wow.
Great. So it was bad. I resigned and then I literally reapplied in August. The union
Mm-hmm.
told me they're going to rehire you. They're desperate for teachers. And I was fully certified. And I got rehired at another charter school where one of my college friends' sister was the vice principal. She's a principal now in DC and she's still cool. And,
Mm-hmm.
I had it was the restart of a flop of a start in my career.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All righty. So we've gotten established in a program, and then I'm pretty sure that you've experienced other programs in the school district and in your area, and then you know a podcast comes about. Tell us a little bit about it.
I swear to goodness, I fall into these things. I'm not. It's never planned. It's always an idea. So I was at an egregious another school, um, where the administrator was next level heinous, like complete narcissist. And I don't mean it like when we say narcissist. I mean like a real narcissist, like you watch on TV. She was a bona fide. Well, that was my first high school principal,
Oh wow.
and um, my first week, I got an email from the athletic director asking could the marching band perform the first day of school. I was like, well,
I don't even know if I have students. What are you talking about?
yeah, what are you talking? But we had just finished band camp. It was kind of like, well, we had a band camp show, so I think we could probably pull it off. I want to make a good impression. You know, I have been trained, just do what they say. I don't agree with that no more. But athletic director said, let's have a pep rally. I said, what do you need from me? They said, perform about 10, 15 minutes. I said, okay, we got about 10 minutes. We play some crank ups, play 400 degrees, big ball, and all all the little things that eat up time. Yeah, I call them 8-bar ditties. Them 8-bar specials that you can loop until forever. And they released the students. This is the first day of school. They released the students. We start lining up. We're supposed to start at 2:00. We start lining up at 1:45 because I like to be punctual. And we start marching down. But then they dismissed the entire school. It's an all-girls school. 1,200 girls at the same time on the first day of school. Just bad management. Like, just not smart. Yet 1,200.
That's a wow. Ooh.
And this is the first time they've seen the marching band. This is the first time like freshmen have like experienced anything. So they are turned all the way up. They're trying to cut through the band. We're like marching down to the field. And it's like we're trying to keep them out the line and whatever. We get down to the field, we perform. And it was good. Much to my surprise, because they still wet behind the ears at this point in the school year. We just finished band camp. It was only 1 week. And the next day I get met at the door with the principal. I have not met her yet. She's like, I need to see you in my office. I'm thinking, thank you for pulling it off. Like, it went well. The students received it well. I get in there and she said, why'd you choose to disobey me? I was like, excuse me, qu'est-ce que c'est? She was like, I told you to perform for 10, 15 minutes top. You did 30 minutes. I said, my kids can't perform for 30 minutes. Like, what are you talking about? And then I realized, I said, she wasn't even there. I was like, who told you we perform for 30 minutes? Well, I know a performance when I see one. I was like, what? I said, you have the chops to play for 30 minutes. Like, trust me, I know. She's like, well, what was all that in the street? I said, that's how you move a band down the street. Like, you don't walk a band.
It's not the performance. It's not the performance. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. I mean, she's like, so you're saying I don't know what I'm saying? And like the autism in me, and I'm not joking when I say that. It's like, well, you don't actually know what a performance is if you thought that was a performance.
Right.
And she's like, I don't appreciate being disrespected on the first day of school. I was like, oh my gosh, she's psycho. And I'm like, no. So she made my life a living hell for 10 years. I was there.
Oh my God.
I stayed for 10 years for the kids. They tell you you'll outlive the administrator. I stayed there for 10 years.
I was somebody that you stayed. What the? No. Oh my goodness. Why.
Because the one thing that my first band director, very first, like elementary, was a woman. And by then, the only other woman, Black woman, especially band director I knew, is my husband's band director, who was at Duval High School in Prince George's County. And she was fearless. But I thought about it. We have a 30-year age gap between us. If you think about like representation, if I leave these Black girls at this school, what am I saying to them? Like, these are the next me, you know, these are the next, I ain't gonna say me, they're the next them. They're the next band directors, they're the next music teachers. And how important is it that they see someone who looks like them, who can arrange, who can write a drill, who can teach, who can play their horn? Because, you know, we get a bad rap. I'm gonna tell y'all, here's the pop call out. We hear y'all talking about us. We really do. It's a little better now, but what we used to hear is that Black women band directors or women band directors suck. We heard all that. They can't handle the heat of it. We can't handle it. We heard. So I thought about all that stuff, and I endured that abuse for 10 years because I didn't want to let those girls down. And then the pandemic happened, and I said, the hell with this shit.
Might as well go and take a break.
I left band director. I said, if this is how I have to do it, I ain't doing it no more. Like, I'll travel. And so the podcast started from me. Facebook Live had just become a thing, like 2014. And on the way home, I just hit. Listen, y'all. Why is this like this? Why are we doing it like this? What the hell? This ain't what the hell I signed up for. And it kind of took off from there. But it really started with me just the diary of a lady band director literally is what it is. It was like, why this NFL player at a parade laugh at me when I told him I was the band director? But before, he was like, this is a fine looking group. He thought I was the wife of the band director. I was like, with this suit on? So, I mean, it's not, I won't say that sexism is like as bad as it was like for in this career path. But at the time, it was a lot of microaggressions or macroaggressions. Like, just even as a music major in college, it was a lot of, and I don't think I'm ugly. I mean, I know I'm not ugly. I don't think that I'm like, like Beyonce, but I was like, there's also that type of like, oh, you too cute to actually know what you're doing. And I was like, I don't know. I like to believe my husband married me because I have a lot of qualities like his band director from high school. And she is my mentor. Like, we talk. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Patricia Hopkins. She was fearless. She just didn't take no shit. And I don't take no shit. It took a lot of years to that point. I don't take no shit. Not from men, women, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Don't take it from anybody. And shout out to some of the great lady band directors that I know. We have Sybil down here with Willow Ridge High School. And
there's two Sybils. There's Sybil James at Willow Ridge, who we gonna cut up when I go to TMEA. Listen to me, Sybil. We gonna cut up because we've been planning this. We're gonna cut up. Sybil Haskins, who was at Hillside. We have retired Dr. Boykins, who's at Elizabeth City for a good while, but he also started out at IC Norcom. See, I follow greatness. They ain't no, I don't care if somebody run into you and say Krystal hates women band directors or Black women. Hell no, I don't. I hate bad people. But we got Stephanie Sanders is just
Norfolk. Yeah.
She's another level of talented. Like, I aspire to be that knowledgeable about everything. Like, she can do it all. We got Dr. Roebuck. She's the only Black woman band director in the SWAC. And she gets a lot of hell. Like, I was like, man, sometimes I'm going to say it flat out. Sometimes y'all are the white men to us. Like, I'm going to just say it. Y'all can feel that there's a post. I replied on one post. I was eating them alive. But they were telling on themselves. I said, this is how white people sound to y'all. And now you sound like the same way to me. But I'll let you have it. Just know you can't see me on my horn. I'll tell you that. I can probably outright you.
And Dr. Roebuck, no matter how much flack you give her, when was the last time you heard of a scandal dealing with the band? When's the last time you heard of that?
Because we can't afford handle. We can't mess it up. We won't get another
Right,
chance.
right. And I'm pretty sure she's graduating students because I see her retaining students there as well. So what are the standards from the university? Are the standards for the university for an arrangement to sound a certain way? Are the standards from the university is to bring in young minds, educate them, mold them, and then send them back out into the world as a GSU graduate? That's and I commend all band directors that are having these large graduation classes and holding their students' feet to the fire and making sure they're going to class and things like that. Let me get on my podium. But Dr. Roebuck, you again, no matter how you feel about the program itself and what we think as band heads, that woman still has a job to do, and there are certain requirements that have to be met in order to meet that job. And those band, and she is doing that. So, however you feel about her, him, they, what, them, whatever the pronoun may be, that's how it is. So, shout out to her. Great lady band director out there doing the thing.
And there's so many more. You know, there's like Desiree, like her man is on point. Like, and we don't see them like, you know, assaulting some of these women band directors like they might assault, like if, you know, Jerome Law was a band director, you know, and I know the game, some of it is popularity. So true, real talk, I had a bad reputation I didn't even know I had. I had a bad reputation that I was an awful band director.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a bad reputation from one person. And the unfortunate thing is you can be doing everything right, but jealousy will cause one person. You know, this, well, our society is example of this. If one popular person says it, it is true. And so for a while, I wasn't welcome in circles, and I didn't even know why. One, I had a big fear of flying. Like, I don't like planes. Now, don't judge me. I fly literally once a month, all year, twice out of the country. I done touched 4 continents. I hate flying. Like, it's I've had a meltdown at TSA that bad. But I would go places when I finally got the nerve to start flying. I'd already been teaching for almost 13, 14 years, 15 years. And I said, I need to get out here. And people was like, Krystal, you need to go do conferences. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And at the time I had been kind of elected to some positions that I felt like, you know, someone might want to hear what I have to say, you know, might. And I went somewhere and I sat at a table and everybody moved. I said, what the hell? I don't even know y'all. Like, or I was in a Zoom meeting. I ain't gonna say what, because you know what? I believe God heals all. And like, I felt like I was getting grilled. You know, it's like, so what do you think about this? And I was like, why are you so aggressive? I don't know you like that. Well, the story had been I had ruined somebody's career that has never worked with me ever. And that was the story. And it's emotionalism behind it. So all you guys have is a story that evokes emotion, people run with it.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, but the truth is going to always come to light.
Truth will always come out. I don't think anybody thinks I'm a bad band director now.
Well, you got receipts. So that's all.
Yeah, I got receipts. And to be real talk, sometimes like I was really heavily bullied as a kid. Like not just as a kid, like I was that kid that got bullied for a long time, even into my adulthood. And it comes to a point where I, you know, like my mother was fearless. And I said, you know, what would Vivian Vines do? Would she just take it on the chin? And I stopped taking it on the chin. I started clapping back. But see, I'm an Aquarius. And when we clap back, it's real bad. Like, but for a long time, I was to myself. Yeah. You Aquarius too, Drew?
Yeah, 211. 211.
Listen, We are not. I'm a January end of January Aquarius. I feel like we are fired. Yeah. I just said you're not gonna say it, so I'll just bring the fight to your table because that's how Aquarius are. Like if you're gonna keep doing this, then I'm gonna bring it to your doorstep. And and it's not that I like to live a life confrontationally. I actually really don't like confrontation, but I realized as a Black woman in this field, taking on the chin, like eventually you just gotta fight back. That was my mother telling me from Southeast DC. A bully out the playground and said, so y'all gotta keep coming inside or you gonna go whoop their ass. And I said, all right, it's time to start whooping some ass proverbially. So, I'll tell the truth. I literally, I've been inquiring about it for about 10 years. I got an autism diagnosis. Like I am on the spectrum. Now I'm not, I know somebody's gonna say, well, why everybody autistic? I say, no. If you come watch me set up my class and we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's on the spectrum. But it's my superpower.
Yeah, it's all about recognizing what it is and where you are on that end of the spectrum. And once you acknowledge where you are, you know how to go forward and
embrace it.
And embrace it. And what I've learned from you today is there's a term out there that is you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. And in the words of Krystal Williams, you don't even get a centimeter. So you ain't moving on me. So as we wrap up, I want to come to a fun part of our show. And you kind of did a little bit of this already. So I'm like, maybe, but you got stories on stories on stories. I'm sure you got another
wild career.
I'm sure you got another one that you can help us with. So this segment is called "I Ain't No Rat." So
you said I ain't no. Hold on, say it again.
I ain't no rat.
Oh, I ain't no rat. Oh, damn.
Right. Okay. All right. So it's a story about something funny or messed up, or funny and messed up. And you can tell a story. There's only one rule. You can't say names. Because you ain't no rat. You ain't gonna say names.
I'm from Southeast.
Any pronoun you want. You just can't say the name.
Oh,
Think about it.
Oh boy. Okay, so basketball tournament time.
Okay.
All right. So I think I'm gonna do this one. And people gonna know exactly what. So
let them know. Don't worry about it. I never.
All right. So the team was winning, which is not normal.
The home
team was winning, and so we would get pit with the top seed to get you out the way. That's how basketball goes. Well, that didn't happen because we were winning, but we still left on a Monday. Now, most of us have gotten used to, being, I call it A band. Y'all know what A band is. A band is your top players. And so I make the A band list because I can play. And they give us money on the first day for the whole week. You already know this is bad. This is bad. So we get money, and the proverbial we, it could be all of us and none of us. I'm just going to say that. We are in a hotel by Target, a ABC liquor store. Right, in a bunch of restaurants. So we get smart. We got like refrigerators in the dorm. Let's just go get microwavable dinners. We used to eat like trash anyway. But let's go buy things. So we went and bought super soakers. We had already been to Old Country Buffet and stolen a bunch of gummies. They just put them in your pocket. Like, oh, it's getting bad. And so some folk had some beverages of the home variety in mason jars.
Oh, it's getting bad. Okay.
We were gonna proverbially loaded these super soakers with beverage. On the meantime, some other proverbial wees, Xbox had just come out, like the Xbox 360. And so if you looked at the hotel room, people have Ethernet cords. They're tossing them from window to window so we could get a game on. So you got so many levels of just debauchery. And not like, like go to jail-ish, but like pure college Animal House craziness. So they open windows. They like throwing daisy chain in Ethernet cords so they can like hook up all
that
the
is hilarious.
From the 8th floor. So you see people literally hanging out the window. And then there's water gun fights in the hotel. It's really bad. It's really bad. Time of your life. But man, I mean, and so system at the time, they're starting to get complaints. People are checking out the hotel early because it's kind of lit. But anyway, don't shake it. I feel judged. I was not a part of this. I don't know who was a part of this, but just know some individuals
were a part of it.
So the assistant opened the door, but they were proverbially were tagging people with water gun, and he got a money shot in the face, and then everybody got ghosted. I'm just saying.
Wow. Y'all built your own network, started your own underground bootlegging business.
Not proverbially.
Proverbially, and proverbially made people check out of the hotel. Oh my God, we can't take you anywhere.
Can't take us anywhere.
Oh my God, that was a good story. That's crazy. That is
I mean,
crazy.
They gave us $160 in the early 2000s. $160.
That's a lot of money.
Like $500 back then.
I thought the story was going somewhere else, but somebody's like, "Hey, crap, give me your money." You know what I'm saying? One of them kind of situations.
Proverbially.
Oh.
Allegedly. Had a great time.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, those alleged adventures. I'm going to tell you what. That was a good story. Okay, I'll move on to the next part. And this is pretty fun. It's called Making the Band. So, you're just going to build your perfect band. You're going to start from, since you're a woodwind person, we're going to start from percussion and build our way up the pyramid to you guys. And so you just pick a school and a section. And for instance, you know, Joan Cookman's tubas, you know what I'm saying? Or Jackson State's trombones from such and such. Or you could just say,
I already got this because I've done this. I've done this in college. We used to do this.
I know.
Right, first, the proverbial dream section. Okay. One, if we start with percussion.
Wherever you want to start. You're a band director. You got it.
$1 Million Funk Squad all day. $1 Million Funk Squad. Just give me them.
That's Norfolk, right?
Yeah, they got that DCI chopping, but they groovy. They still some flavor. You know what I mean? There's seasoning in it, but it's real clean. I like percussion. So of course I'm keeping tonals. I'm from the MEAC. Sorry, y'all. But I would have to add like toms. I would add toms, chest tenors, because I do.
Okay.
As an arranger, I've started to learn how I could utilize them. So I would add those to the setup. Why are you making that face? Come on, don't do that.
Okay. No. It's okay. It's okay. No. Somebody walked by and it distracted me. I'm sorry about that.
I like $1 Million Funk Squad. hands down. Tuba, VSU horsepower, but horsepower from like 2003 to like 2009. Yeah, I have like an era.
Okay. Yeah.
VSU horsepower, sousaphones, hands down. That's it. Give me them, because I ain't watering down no bass lines as an arranger.
Okay.
So give me those. They gonna play whatever I put on the paper because they can play.
And it's gonna be executed and projected. That's right.
And it's gonna be executed and projected. Trombone. See, my FAMU friends are gonna come at me. I like what they produce individually, but I don't feel like they use the trombone the way that it can. I'm in a house full of trombone players, so I know. So I would have to say Jackson State.
Okay.
Give me the bones, because they cut, and I like writing for trombone. Texas Southern baritones.
Okay.
They've
been a band for quite some time.
So if somebody trying to check my bandhead creds right now, hopefully you understand. I'm not just a girl with blonde hair. Let's see, where we at? Mellophones. Southern University, circa 2000 and circa Hamer.
Circa before Hamer. Yeah. That was Jeremy Dixon. Yeah, that's our friend. We passed away a little while ago. He established that true F-horn sound that Southern University had. Yeah. So yeah.
And I marched mellophone in an all-star band, so I appreciate a good mellophone. I like a counter melody. Trumpets. Am I gonna go back to? I might be going back.
Oh,
I'm going. All right, so yeah, so Dwight, that's my husband. Yeah, Dwight, don't speak so loud. Don't be so loud. Trumpets. Oh gosh, I gotta admit the L if I say this. Okay, so Norfolk State in 2000. Shut down.
The Busy Act.
Oh God, this is when my good bro J. Julian Luke, who is my producer for Diary of a Lady Band Director. This is when he was in school, and like, all right, their trumpets used to suck. Our trumpets suck too. So I can see I'm old. I'm 44. I already told you I'm autistic, so I will tell you the truth. Our trumpets were not good. Before 2001, Norfolk State's trumpets were not good either. At least they were not like what they are now, not the Dizzy-X that we know. But man, 2001, these jokers came. I was sick. I had a spinal tap. Like the one game in my career I ever missed. I slithered out my bed because them was cranking, and I could hear them in my dorm, and the trumpet section sounded like the whole band.
Oh wow.
They played like Phantom of the Opera. Yeah. I was like, so yeah, the Dizzies. Where I'm at now, saxophones, FAMU.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Only section I ever heard that played a fanfare, which you can hear the saxophones, and they had all the parts. I was like, we saw them at the Whitney Young. I think it was Whitney Young Classic when I was in school, about 2003. I think 2003, 2004. Clarinets. I'd have to hybrid this. Can I hybrid? Like, are they rules?
Yeah, you can do a hybrid.
All right. Tennessee State, FAMU, and Jackson State.
Okay.
Let our powers combine like Voltron. Give me.
Yeah. I could see a choir from that with Jackson State's clarinets being the sopranos.
Because they got like an edge to them. And I used to play with that edge, so I like that edge. Yeah. And just, Tennessee State, they just got good sound, but they not afraid either. So give me all them. Flutes, give me FAMU and Morgan.
Okay.
For a while, our flute studio was like, I don't know any flute player that came from my era anyway that aren't like a professional flute player. Like they could just play. They could just play. And honorable mention, I would throw my section in too. I'm gonna pop my collar. I was a player from like 2000 to 2005. And yeah, I would throw my section in there too because I ran a tight ship. So that's my band. Dancers, dude.
Nobody ever did auxiliary. Come on with it. Somebody wanted to do drum majors. I'm a tuba player, so we think about all that other stuff.
Okay, so I am a fan of color guard.
Okay.
I like watching DCI, not because of like I think they're so much better than what we do. I just think it's apples versus oranges. But I do appreciate their use of color as color guard adds dimension to the field. It adds height and depth. That's what my band director told me in school. It's like they have a purpose. They bring everything from black and white.
Oh, he's distracting us today. Don't worry.
I'm ignoring him. Yes, I did split a clarinet playing a C, a C, triple C. I split it in half. It's cranking before it was known as cranking. But it would be North Carolina A&T because I like the fact that they're multifaceted and they work the whole. Like that's what I want. I don't like the elitism that sometimes dance finds get. Like they don't need the band; they're their own entity. But clearly, North Carolina A&T, their dancers who also are their flags, they're working the whole time. If you ever watch them, they like are putting in work. They're not a huge line, but they earning their keep. That, just to be honest, and I feel like that's kind of what I would want in my own superstar band, if you will.
Yeah, girls. I've only been able to see them at the National Battle of the Bands, and I've been on the sideline for at least maybe 4 or 5 of those. And when I've seen them come, I'm like, they'll do something, and then they'll run, and then like they'll take a seat at the sideline, and then they breathe heavy, and I'm thinking, okay, they done. Next thing you know, they pop right back up, and then they run and they grab something, and then somebody else is doing something. Those girls are always moving, and that's some good energy. Lord help them, because I would have passed out, and they in shape too. So shout out to the coach and the girls for doing y'all thing, because that's a lot, man. That's an awesome band though. Thank you so much. So you've been hanging with Bandheads. What do you think?
I think it's cool. I appreciate the questions. I think sometimes I think I get very misunderstood. I'm an even person. I'm probably one of the most even people you'll ever meet. Hold on, wait a minute. Let this pop up. Okay, there we go. I'm really even. I won't say I have a preference as much as right is wrong is wrong to me. Like I'm not a gray area person. I'm not afraid to call out something, and I'm actually not afraid to check myself too. I'm my own biggest critic. Like I work hard in my band room because I'm reflective. Like I'm not most of the time I'm going live is so I can hear what I've done wrong in my approach. Like I'm always studying because I feel like I owe the craft that. I owe my students that reflectiveness. Like, ooh, I didn't catch the clarinet's trilling. That was wrong. Like I am reflective. And I think sometimes people think when you come on social media, you're just trying to show off. Like I'm completely no, there's some stuff my kids cannot do. Well, like dance. They got 2 left feet. But I also understand the power of social media. And I would have never destroyed that narrative about myself if I just closed my door and just kept doing business. And someone wise told me, they said, Krystal, you're really selfish. They said this to me before the pandemic. They said, you got all these great ideas and you don't share it with anybody. I was like, well, I don't think they're great ideas. And it was like, no, somebody needs that. And they kind of checked me and told me that when you know better, you do better. But when you know better, you help others do better. And so it's not so much as I'm a know-it-all. Nah, ask my husband. I'm always like, is that right? what do you think about this? I'm always asking opinions, but I have to trust you to ask your opinion because some people just steer you wrong so they can watch you fail. Um, and so I'm not on social media because I want to be the next big band director. Um, I want to be the right band director for my students as much as possible. And there's so many resources with social media. Like we've gotten donations that I would have never gotten if I just closed my doors and stayed in my room like I did the first 15 years. They've been able to go on overnight trips and go leave District Heights. District Heights is not a good place as far as like the statistics go. But the kids are good. And so I think me being on social media, me being a Black woman, me recognizing other Black women are doing exactly what I'm doing too, if not the more. Like I owe it to them to represent well, like if that makes sense. I owe it to them, my students. And why do men get to have all the fun? I wave my damn arms around too and, bring the plane down conducting. But at the end of the day, I want bands. So like I feel like I'm divergent. I'm a divergent.
One thing that I get from your post, I remember, and it's Sunday, and we're gonna wrap it up with this, where Jesus was talking to the apostles, and then he told them, "Once you overcome, testify to strengthen your brother." And so all he's just saying is, when I go down that road and I know making a left is the worst thing to do, then I need to tell everybody else, hey, make a right there. And you're doing that with your message. And I appreciate you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been graced by Miss Krystal Williams, Lady Band Director. If you're not following her, then she's about to tell you how you can follow her on all forms of social media. Let's go.
So the good thing about a brand is when you do it right, it works everywhere. So if you at Diary of a Lady Band Director on any social media platform, you will find me. If you do it on Facebook, if you do it on TikTok, if you do it on Instagram, if you do it on, I don't know what else, other things you can do it on, YouTube, at Diary of a Lady Band Director is the exact same place. And they're all linked. So if you get into one, you kind of see all the other things as well. Especially if you kind of do it from TikTok. So
guess what?
I don't make no money, but still follow.
Guess what? You're on AI. That's how I got like all of my stuff together for you.
Oh, yes. I don't know. That's weird to me.
Check it out.
Like you typed in my name and I came up. You Googled me?
I typed Diary of a Lady Band Director. And all of your socials came up.
Oh,
see, all your socials came up. And it has, look, there you go, right there.
How many followers?
So all they have to do is they can Google Diary of a I keep trying to say Diary of a Mad Band because I'm a Jodeci fan. Diary of a Lady Band Director. I keep catching myself. That's the reason I pause like that. But yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Like I've never done it.
Yeah. And you're there, and you didn't even make AI found you. So you're doing something right. I guess you're out there. But yeah, thank you so much. Any parting words for the fans out there?
Band directors, just remember your why and keep that ever in front of you. Just remember your why. Keep that, and it's easy to get distracted along the way. But truly remember, like, what was that moment that said, I want to do this, and try to live in that moment. I try to live in that moment through my students. It's like, this is why I wanted to do this. And I think that will help settle some of our issues if we remember our why. Even if that means you have to leave. Like I had to leave, where I was to get where I am. And so seasons come to an end, and don't live in a season too long. If it's not fruitful, you can't you can't out teach a bad situation. And that's what I try to tell new teachers. You can't out teach a bad situation. It's gonna stay bad. You'll leave, you'll be dead before they will be dead. And then they will post your job and you'll be gone and somebody else will inherit everything that you built. So leave on a good note. You can't change people, change people.
Hey, like put that on a t-shirt. You can't change people, change people. And with that, it's your boy J Law. You've been with the Bandheads, Krystal, Diary of a Lady Band Director Williams. We appreciate you for hanging out with us at Bandhead Network. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. I'm gonna eat some chicken wings.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. Shut it down.